In the peaceful village of Abaji, life carried on as usual. The fields were rich and children's laughter echoed in the streets. But in one house, there was only silence, and in that silence lived Aisha and Suleiman, a wealthy couple who had been married for 8 long years. Though they had everything, one thing was missing: the joyful sound of a child. The absence of that sound haunted their home. Every day, Aisha would sit by the window, watching the village children play outside. Their carefree laughter, which brought joy to others, only deepened her sadness. Her hand longed to hold a baby, her heart heavy with the dream that had yet to come true. For 8 years, 8 long years, she and Suleiman had waited and prayed, but each year passed with no child, and the weight of disappointment grew. Suleiman, a kind and patient man, always tried to comfort his wife. He would tell her God's time is the best, hoping to soothe her pains. But deep down, even he began to lose hope. The years had been hard on both of them. They shared the same house, the same life, but the sadness between them was like a heavy shadow they could not escape. One evening, as the sun began to set and the village grew quiet, Aisha sat alone, lost in her thoughts. The whispers of the villagers rang in her mind. The stares in the market, the quiet judgments. They believed she was cursed, that she was barren, and this thought weighed heavily on her. She could no longer bear the waiting, the silent suffering. As she lay awake that night, a plan started to form in her mind. A plan that frightened her, but also seemed like the only way out of her pain. The next morning, Aisha's heart was set. Her younger sister, Zainab, just 17 years old, was full of dreams. She was still in school, hopeful for a bright future. But in Aisha's desperation, Zainab became her only hope. If Zainab could carry a child for them, it would still be part of their family. Aisha believed it could be the answer to all her prayers. Later that evening, after dinner, Aisha finally spoke to Suleiman. With trembling hands and a pounding heart, she revealed her plan. Suleiman was shocked, horrified even. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. Aisha wanted him to father a child with her younger sister. He refused at first, but as the days passed, Aisha's desperation wore him down. She whispered to him at night, telling him that this was the only way they could find happiness, the only way they could have a child. Reluctantly, Suleiman agreed, though his heart was heavy with guilt. Convincing Zainab was much harder. When Aisha told her the plan, Zainab's world fell apart. She was still so young, with dreams of finishing school and building her own life. She couldn't understand why her sister was asking her to do something so unimaginable. But Aisha, driven by desperation, reminded her of all the sacrifices she had made for Zainab after their parents died. Zainab, feeling trapped and with nowhere else to turn, agreed. Weeks passed and the plan was set in motion, but no child came. Aisha's frustration grew darker. Her once warm heart turned cold, and her relationship with Zainab became filled with bitterness and anger. The happy home they once knew was crumbling under the weight of unfulfilled dreams. As time went on, Aisha's desperation grew even stronger. She couldn't bear the thought of the villagers continuing to whisper about her, and her desire for a child began to consume her completely. Her thoughts turned darker, and she started to wonder if there was another way to make her plan work. One evening, after hearing rumors about a man named Abdul from a neighboring village, Aisha's mind raced with new possibilities. Abdul was known for taking any job that paid. His mother was sick and he was desperate for money to pay for her medical bills. Aisha saw this as a chance. Without hesitation, she set out to find Abdul, a young man burdened with his own struggles. She found him sitting alone near a roadside stall. Aisha made him an offer. He could help her by fathering a child for her and Zainab, and in return, she would pay him money enough to cover his mother's medical expenses. At first, Abdul was horrified, refusing to be part of such a scheme. But as Aisha pressed on, reminding him of his mother's suffering, desperation geared at him. Reluctantly, Abdul agreed, but only on the condition that after it was over, he would never hear from Aisha again. Aisha's plan grew darker as she began drugging Zainab, ensuring that she would be unconscious during Abdul's visit. Zainab, unaware of what was happening, began to wake up confused and in pain. As time passed, Zainab's belly started to swell, and Aisha believed her plan was finally working. But Aisha's obsession had come at a price. The home that was once filled with love was now filled with secrets, betrayal, and darkness. The cost of her desperation was more than she could ever have imagined, and deep down she knew that the nightmare she had created was far from over. In the once peaceful village of Abaji, the quiet rhythm of life continued, but inside Aisha's heart, everything was unrevealing. Life lessons. 1. Desperation can lead to destructive choices. Aisha's overwhelming desire for a child led her to make unethical decisions, demonstrating that when we allow desperation to consume us, it can cloud our judgment and push us down dangerous paths. 2. Patience and acceptance are key to peace. Suleiman's patient approach contrasts with Aisha's desperation, showing us that sometimes we need to accept life's challenges rather than forcing solutions that could have negative consequences. 3. Family should be built on love, not control. Aisha's manipulation of her sister Zainab shows that using others for personal gain, especially family, can destroy the bond that is supposed to unite us. 4. Money cannot solve every problem. Aisha's attempts to bribe Abdul to solve her problems shows that not everything can be fixed with money. Some problems require moral and emotional solution, not financial ones. 5. The consequences of our actions will always catch up. Aisha's actions, from pressurizing Suleiman to involving Zainab and Abdul, reminds us that every decision we make has consequences, and sooner or later, those choices will come back to haunt us. As you reflect on Aisha's story, take a moment to consider the choices you've made in your own life. Are they driven by love, patience, and understanding? Or are they fueled by desperation and fear of judgment? Remember, the path you choose today will shape your tomorrow. Choose wisely, stay patient, and always seek to act with integrity, no matter how difficult the journey might be. Let's learn from Aisha's mistake and choose to build our lives on trust, love, and acceptance rather than desperation and control. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this story, like the video, subscribe for more, and share it with your friends. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video.